Alliance versus 2011 International Champions, Na'Vi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 4 of the International number 3. What could be the final match of this entire tournament? Na'Vi is on match point.
The Alliance on the back foot. They started off hot, 1-0. They won that game before the 20-minute mark, yet in games 2 and 3, Na'Vi had all the answers. The winner of this set takes home $1.4 million. And right now, for me, Lumi, it's been the match of the Wisp, because every game we seem to see something different. Na'Vi's giving away the Wisp. Alliance is giving away the Wisp. And here we go. This time around, the Alliance get it with the first pick.
Yeah, the bans of games 2 through 4 so far has been exactly the same. Na'Vi says, don't want to deal with Chen, don't want to deal with Naga Siren, and Lion says, we don't want to play against Havosa's Lifestealer. Of course, not against the Darkseer either. So both teams is throwing OP stuff against each other, and a lot of it is sticking on the wall.
Yeah, they've been banning out the supports, and I mean, it's been effective so far. Yeah. Removing the junglers, removing EGM's go-to heroes. Now, he can, of course, play Windrunner, but generally when he's on Windrunner, they like to put Ake on Chen or Enchanter. So
look at this bans. 4 supports being banned out. Have we seen anything like this in the past?
I mean, I think this is the kind of strategy that works well against Orange Esports as well, because to me, Alliance and Orange are very similar in the respect that they both have incredible support duos. Extinct and Net, and then you've got Ake and EGM. And these teams, sure, they might not rack up the kills in every game, but we see the importance of the supports, and it's been a tournament about supports. Yeah. We're seeing that again here. And now, Na'Vi get a Dendy Puck. So it looks like a Funnic Batrider, a Havost Alchemist, a Dendy Puck. It seems pretty clear how they want to play these. They don't have any supports. Alliance, a Wisp, a Prophet. We know the Wisp should be going to one of those 2 supports. We know the Prophet's going to be going to Admiral Bulldog. What's Loda going to play? What's S4 going to play?
Again, these 2 players are so versatile that you don't have to worry about it so much right now. I think what Lions need to figure out is their central strategy, predict the lanes coming from Na'Vi, and hopefully counter from there. But I mean, what we saw out of Lions last game, and to me, last game was a big lesson for all of us, why they could comfortably leave Wisp in the draft. Their supports were never caught out, always in the fogs, never got picked off a relocate. We saw over 6-7 minutes where a single relocate wasn't even used because then they did not see anybody. So for this game, we gotta ask the question to Na'Vi: are they as vigilant? Are they gonna get picked off by relocate? Because like we know Alliance is gonna come out guns blazing, looking for kills.
Yeah, in theory, Wisp Prophet is incredible late game. It's very hard to play against, but if you weather the storm and you don't get picked off, you look at what these heroes actually bring you, and they're squishy. They don't have much team fight directly. They more rely on their allies to set things up. So it puts a lot of pressure on S4. And if Na'Vi do dodge those ganks, if the relocates aren't coming, if Bulldog isn't able to apply a lot of split push, if he's getting caught by lassos, if they don't get off to a hot start, if they're not finding many kills, I mean, ultimately Na'Vi's got the much better 5-man, the much better death ball right now.
Yeah, and also, you know, you were talking about supports. What about Kuroki's play last game on
that Rubik? I mean, he didn't even have a blink dagger, and he's still using the lasso.
He was literally like a Batrider for the team, right? Just blink in, lift, toss back, and suddenly that hero just died.
Yeah, when he stole lasso, he was Batrider. Right, when he didn't steal lasso, he just blinks and he lifts, and he set up like 3 or 4 kills in a row, which won them the game. Immaculate support play. He had virtually no farm that game, which I was even mentioning in the cast. It's very unusual for him. But the Alliance now, they'll go to their staple. We saw it in game 1. It's when they get Wisp, they really like this Gyro. Great team fight carry, great BKB carrier, and against Na'Vi, you need BKB.
Yeah, actually, I think Gyro and Wisp work quite well together. We saw Loda in game 1 using the exact same synergy, and obviously right back to Kuroki's Rubik. But Gyrocopter is one of those carry heroes early on that could dish out a ton of damage, but he doesn't necessarily get into the fight, right? You have to teleport there, and by the time that he gets there, he doesn't have a good cooldown drop on. But when you are in the middle and thick of things, and when you have things like damage block from Overcharge Wisp, when you have attack speed increase from Overcharge Wisp, you are going crazy with your flat cannons, rocket barrage, and call down, obviously.
So I'm really starting to wonder what S4 is going to play. I mean, you mentioned he's a very versatile player. We used to see the son of Magnus playing that Magnus quite a bit. But, I mean, Magnus doesn't match up well against Bat. They're not going to go for his hero. Now they go for the Crystal Maiden for Ake. So you've got an EGM Wisp and Ake Crystal Maiden. I want to know what S4 is going to play, because if they go Mag, which seems like the most common alliance here we've seen, he's not going to do well against Bat, he's not going to do particularly well against Puck, and he could get picked off early. And if you go Mag versus Rubik, you're asking for Kuroki to steal RP. And if he doesn't go mag, then what does he go? I mean, Dragon Knight, Beastmaster, these heroes are going to lose the lane to Na'Vi.
There is OD still in the pool, and OD just absolutely shuts down.
But it's so much. It's not an S4 hero. Like we don't see him play it at all.
That's right. I mean, it's not yet Puck. It's not a Queen of Pain. It's not a mobile hero that has a huge impact on the team fight. All he does is perhaps Astral somebody or Force Staff somebody. So it's not an S4 hero, but in the sense.
I'm leaning towards the mag, but I just feel like Na'Vi have the answers for it.
Yeah, well,
Clockwork would have been the other one, and it's banned.
And it's not here anymore. So yeah, it begs the question: what will S4 play? He is generally like when Alliance win games, a lot of times it's through S4 kind of facilitating the team fight. He to me is kind of like the Xiao A of the West. He really direct how the battle goes. He's very survivable on the front line, but you got to give him a hero that allows him to do that.
Now Alliance will wait on Na'Vi's final pick of the draft. They've got a lot of signatures here. Funnick Batrider haven't seen as much, but certainly have seen it in the past. The Puck mid for Dendi, one of his very best heroes. Alchemist for Havost has been the go-to. They get it again.
10 seconds
so now
remaining.
everything's been set except, well, this last support. Puppey, his Enigma denied to him.
Remaining.
What's plan B?
I think right now, if you're looking against Alliance, despite the fact that they have a Wisp, you have to respect the power or the threat of a offensive tri-lane. Gyrocopter, Crystal Maiden, and Wisp has what it takes to kind of blow things open on that offensive try. So I think you pick up a sort of a defensive support.
There is a twin-headed dragon. Normally when Na'Vi go for it, it's with a Darkseer, so not entirely sure what the choice would be. I mean, if they want to go really defensive, there's things like Shadow Demon, but generally Shadow Demon and Rubik don't work well together. They're both setup heroes. They don't have much damage. So Na'Vi really waiting on that last pick.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Now, Puppey does have a wide range of jungle heroes. We see him go Lycan jungle in the past.
They're all banned. Like, he banned most of them. He banned the Chen.
No, not the standard one. I'm talking like out there jungle heroes, like Lycanthrope jungle. We've seen him jungle Shadow Demon in the past. So if he feels like his lane is okay, maybe he wants to get a little bit greedy.
I think that's too greedy versus Alliance, because they will punish that.
Yeah.
They've got, like you said, the great aggressive tri-lane. I think, like you said, he needs a safe, stable laning support. Jakiro's an option. I mean, Alina's decent with Rubik, Leshrac if they want to push the tower early. If he goes for something greedy, that's something Alliance could just pick apart.
Any possibility where S4 just says, Dendi, I saw you go Wisp last game mid. I'm going to take you right back in the same lane.
A slight possibility, I suppose. I just feel like that means that Alliance really is too reliant on ganking. Like, if they go Wisp mid, then they're probably getting another support, and that puts so much pressure on their ganks, because as good of a carry as Gyro is and Prophet, well, Bane's the choice. There you go.
Yeah.
Safe, stable, defensive support. They are lacking AoE from these supports, and they both are highly dependent on level 6, but it'll be hard to find a kill in this tri-lane. Either Rubik or Bane can help you to disengage.
I mean, keep in mind that Rubik does give you AoE in the sense of Fable. As more importantly, you can still easily Nova. You can easily still call down. There's a ton of great spells that he can kind of.
But he needs the levels,
right?
And that could be dangerous against Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, it depends on how the lanes lined up. I mean, if Na'Vi gets a defensive tri-lane that is uncontested, you know Havos is going to get insane farm. You know that Rubik as well as Bane's going to get a little bit of jungle farm as well. I really like to see Alliance go back to their standard kind of your ancient stacking. Just slow it down, use the efficiency of the jungle, and the fact that they are so on top of every single pool and stack, and just slowly beat Na'Vi.
And it's a Night Stalker. There's your tempo controller. There's your aggressive solo mid. A great ganker. Very hard to kill. The silence fantastic against Puck. Batrider as well. BKBs are now essential for Na'Vi, or Yule Scepter at least for Dendi. And game 4 is about to get underway. Na'Vi dropped game 1, took 2 in a row. They now find themselves 1 win away from $1.4 million. Alliance, well, they'll have to battle back. They got to win 2 in a row.
Can they win 2 in a row? Your thoughts?
Absolutely. They definitely can. You win this game, you go into the final match point with the momentum, with the advantage, and with the confidence to take the series.
Right now, Na'Vi has all of that because it's their match point. They have a very, very stable draft. They have great heroes. They have Batrider, who, I mean, has been on and off depending who's playing what, but he's still a huge hero. I think we're going to have to look towards EGM and see what kind of impact he's going to have in this game.
EGM on the Wisp. Game 4 now underway. Here we go. Na'Vi so close. They can taste it. They can smell it. But they have not yet secured that Aegis for themselves. And on we go to introduce the players. S4 on the Alliance. The captain, the drafter. Heading towards mid is the Night Stalker. Rushing the bottle. Ake, support Crystal Maiden. Alliance, they've been denied in the aggressive tri-lane in the past. They won't go for it here. They'll go defensive. Loda on the Gyro. EGM, your support Wisp. Bulldog, the Nature's Prophet. And on the Radiant side, Na'Vi, a lot of momentum riding on them for right now. Havos, your Alchemist. Funnick, your Jungle Batrider perhaps. Dendi could be playing the Puck. Kuroki on the Rubik, that puts Puppey onto the Bane. We'll have to see where Na'Vi go, but it looks like both teams want to go defensive, so expect a very fat Alchemist right now.
Yeah, at the same time, though, keep in mind that the way that Admiral Bulldog likes to play on the spot lane is send a couple of Treants, block the 2 camps early on, block the second spawn of that camp by 1 minute, and then go back to the jungle. So I think Kuroki as well as Puppey is going to have a little bit of difficult time finding early levels.
Yeah, and these are 2 very level-dependent supports. Bane, Rubik, they need level 6 a lot more than other heroes like Shadow Demon, Earthshaker, Jakiro, who is somewhat level-dependent, but they still offer you AoE. They still offer you a lot of control with minimal levels. So if Bulldog is able to slow them down early, it could really limit their ability to impact the mid-game, put more pressure on the carries. And now Bulldog, he's going for his very standard build. Gloves of Haste, double Clarity. He'll send his first 2 Trants into the jungle, 1 each direction, and then he'll simply look to block the camp. He'll do this again before the 1-minute spawn, and then, since at that point the camps only spawn once every minute instead of 30 seconds in a row, he'll head into the jungle and he'll rush the Midas.
Yeah, Funnick's going to be jungling, as you said, and they do not want any camps to be blocked off, but these Treants are being really, really annoying.
Yeah, he'll send 1 to block the camp, he'll send 1 to pull the lane back. So the lane is going to push a little bit, at least for now. The camp is blocked. This camp, however, is not. And Funnick's jungling is not going to be denied, so he's slowing down the supports, but Funnick should have an easy time of it.
Yeah, Emerald Bulldog's one of the best players who can do these like jungle shenanigans, and so far he is effective. Look at this creep wave with 8 creeps. It is slowly going to push in against Emerald Bulldog eventually.
Yeah, he'll be resummoning Treants in just a second, 50 seconds in. He may actually miss the second block, though. No, he should just get it in time. Puppey can't sleep on both. So this camp has been blocked twice, and generally he goes right back into the jungle now, and that's what we're going to see. No, staying up the tower.
He knows a big creep wave is coming. He knows.
And Na'Vi have had enough already. Right. They're going for him.
This is actually very smart because you know that's going to be 8 creep on the tower, and it's going to be a very, very easy dive. So you have things like Nightmare, you have things like Lift to set it up. And let's see if Admiral Bulldog senses it coming. They don't have ward, they don't have vision. Oh, he's going to go check.
Early boots for Havost. He's got to push this wave in. Doesn't have acid spray.
These Treants are coming up the hill. They will see the Na'Vi support. Just expert micro. He knows. He knows what Na'Vi wants to do against him.
Yeah, he scouts them out. He'll back off. Bulldog playing cat and mouse here. So the trades elsewhere. It's a free farm Alchemist, maxing Greevil's Greed for Havost. Not rushing the Midas fully, though. When Loda rushes it, he skips Boots. Havost going for the more aggressive killing build. Might be able to run Bulldog down, but right now, Bulldog very defensive. He's getting experience off this lane.
Yeah.
You compare that to Funnick, he's not, but he is farming faster. He'll stack the jungle, he'll rush the Blink, so a very different approach from these 2 offlaners.
We see a little bit of a tower damage on tier 1, but it's not going to be significant in any sense. Havost struggling to find a little bit of farm as, well, you're kind of between 2 towers, so in fact, he's being harassed here by
yeah, he's taking tower shots as well. We'll have to wait for this next wave. From both directions, the tower's really working against him. He has a Salve here. He'll be okay, but he's being forced to use his regen early. Meanwhile, top lane, you're getting Wisp a lot of levels. EGM already hitting 2, so his level's not being denied. And actually, I think overall, I give Alliance a slight edge here, because if you have underleveled supports against Wisp, I mean, we know what happens. They just melt.
Well, the thing is, if you see them, right? Again, last game from Alliance, they dodged most of the relocate gank. Let's see if Na'Vi support's going to do the same. Back in the mid lane, it's a lane that we haven't really talked about too much. It's going to be, ooh, Kuroki's here.
Looking for a kill, but S4, Night Stalker, one of the hardest heroes to gank. He's got incredibly high base armor, already 6 and a lot of HP. Not going to be an easy nut to crack. They'll go in now, though. They hit him. Funnick's coming as well. Could be a first blood to Na'Vi. S4 falling fast. Not going to have a fast start. He is going to drop. Na'Vi, once again, a first blood going their way.
And it's always on the mid lane here.
And they force a Bulldog TP. That's pretty huge.
Well, he's going to get a ton of EXP on the mid lane, so he should be okay. But I really like what Navi's been doing in this entire series. They just have a vendetta against S4 saying, we know you're a great player, we know you can facilitate a teamfight in the mid game, but we'll shut you down hard. Remember the first game on Beastmaster? 0-5-0. They have made so many ganks against S4, and this game, it's the exact same thing. S4 not getting too much done here, so far at least.
S4 is so accustomed as of late to playing these tempo controllers mid that dominate the lane. The Puck, the Batrider. Lately in this series, we've seen him on the Beastmaster, we've seen him on the Night Stalker, we've seen him on heroes that aren't really as good at winning the lane, and Na'Vi are not only recognizing that and punishing him, but in terms of winning the lane, because Denny was already winning the lane, but they're also ganking him a lot, so it's really a 2-pronged assault. Ban out the supports and gank S4, and on the back of that, already gold, experience. I mean, it could be much farther in Alliance's favor, but instead it's pretty close.
Yeah, again, Na'Vi has made the adjustment in this series. They have changed up the picks and bans. They have targeted different players. And Alliance need to answer. So far, they are doing the absolute standard. And it seems like the standard game is not good enough.
So far, S4 though does have his basic items. He's farming okay. He's got Bottle, Magic Wand. The tier 1 mid did fall earlier, so he got some gold and gold off of that. And ultimately, Night Stalker isn't as item dependent as other heroes. Night Stalker doesn't really need a Blink Dagger. He doesn't need big items to initiate. And he can still have an impact simply by running around and threatening the gang. Remember, they do have Relocate. They've got the global lineup. Here we go mid.
3 or 4-man gang. All you need is a Dream Coil. Ooh, Orb's going to be used.
Oh, they can't get in range yet. 4 heroes. Ooh, that's some hate on S4.
They actually lift him, toss him back. No Nightmare, nothing. TPC's being coming from Wisp, and they'll back off.
Yeah, now they'll tether up. EGM ushering them away, slapping down Dendi with some orbs. A lot of deaths, and, well, Alliance have the Wisp, so I suppose they should feel pretty good.
So should we go to game 5 now, or?
I think we'll play it out, Lumi.
Okay.
I think we'll play it out.
Fair enough. One thing to point out here is Loda's skill build. If you can see that he's actually maxing Rocket Barrage, and that goes back to the playstyle of Wisp and Gyrocopter. He knows he's going to be in the middle of the fight. Back in the mid lane though, Dendi dropping low, but he should be okay. But yeah, Gyrocopter, he knows he's going to be in the middle of the team fight. He knows his magical damage is going to be intense, so that's a spell that you definitely do want to max when you have Gyrocopter in team.
Havost is free farming. Havost is up to 2k gold. We've seen him normally, he likes the treads into straight Shadow Blade. He's been opting to skip the Midas most games. If he wanted a Midas, he'd already have it, so we'll just have to wait and see what he goes for. There is always that Battle Fury build, but against such an aggressive ganking lineup, it seems pretty greedy.
Yeah, maybe you think he's straight rushing a BKB? That seems like overly defensive for Havost.
Yeah, I don't think so. If he wants to go for that, I imagine he'll stop off at the treads for phase boots, and to me, it's most likely a Shadow Blade, but just it's interesting to see that he's holding on to his gold. Seems like he wants to keep his options open and isn't really sure what kind of game we have in front of us yet.
Well, at the same time, Dendi has been pretty active on the bottle crawling on the mid lane, so maybe he just haven't picked it up. But we'll see exactly how it's going to go. But it's nighttime now, so Night Stalker, it is his time to shine. The first Nightfall, it is so important for the NS. And we'll see whether he's going to get his moves. Yeah,
you can already see Night Stalker in the nighttime, as you might expect, has superpowers, right? He's got great vision, whereas a lot of other heroes can barely see at night. So S4 will see you, and you might not see him coming. No one on Na'Vi, well, actually Puck, I believe, does have pretty good night vision, but overall, S4 could get the jump here. One way to deal with the Night Stalker, though, is simply to group. If you're all together, then there's no one to gank, and he can't do much to stop pushes. He's not particularly dangerous with farm compared to other mids, so Na'Vi, they'll say, great, you pick Night Stalker. Come stop our push now. Good luck with that. The tier 1 falls bottom. Na'Vi, first blood, second tower, and now, well, gold. Got it heading their way. Experience, though, still very much in Alliance's favor.
Despite the fact that Na'Vi has pushed down tier 1 tower, keep in mind that they're doing it with 4 or 5 heroes on the bot lane. Meanwhile, up top here, we see Loda pushing in. Meanwhile, mid lane, we see S4 pressuring the tower. So, despite losing at tier 1, I think Alliance is actually ahead. But if they successfully get this tier 2 without spending too much time, then all of what I said goes out the window.
Funnick now using Firefly to clear out the creep wave. Na'Vi continuing to get the pressure up here. And for the time being, S4 sitting back. He's rotating into the lane. We'll see some additional support coming soon. It's coming from Ake. He's jumping in, looking to go. He's got a Nova. Not cast it yet. S4 on the prowl, but lifted up, thrown in. Coil as well. Here's your call down. Loda unloading the damage. 2 to fall. Make it 3. Out Na'Vi in a headlong retreat.
And Night Stalker's still alive right now, trying to get the slow. He does find it, and Funnick trying to fly off the cliff. Not going to be, as we see EGM picks up a triple kill on the Wisp. Well, that's its level 6 if he ever needed one.
Meanwhile, Dendi, though, he can make a play here on S4. The silence is there. Can't
double damage, S4.
No, Dendi's going to go down. It's a team wipe.
Get out of here, says S4. I have a DD, I'm Night Stalker, and I'm moonwalking all over the bot river, and now they're going to be pushing the bot lane.
Lumi, this game was 1-0. Na'Vi had the first blood. They took tower for tower. They were free farming their Alk, and in one fell swoop, Alliance is now leading 5-1. My goodness.
They're not done. They're going to get the tier 1 tower. And you got to keep in mind, Night Stalker, nighttime, I mean, he's only strong half the time, right, in theory, but
Mid lane, Bulldog's in trouble. Now an Alk stun. They're really diving for this. They've got to live. Kuroki coming in. It's 4 heroes mid. They do get Bulldog, but Ake's TP'd in. He's got a Frostbite, holding Havost in position. Hello, S4 coming in. Tether's there. Relocate from EGM, and Dendy's on the run. S4, how far will he go for this? How deep will he dive? He finds another kill. Dendy did not port to his orb and will fall.
How did he not go to his orb? Did he get stunned?
Just got picked off.
I guess so.
S4 able to run him down. Now, S4, now he's starting to demolish these towers. Treads up. Remember how poorly his lane went? He wasn't farming well. He got shut down. They ganked him, but all of a sudden, 3-1-2. You're Wisp 4-0-1. Earn and Arcane Boots for EGM. And now Lotus in his comfort zone. He's a one-position carry. He can go stack the Ancients if he likes. His team is map control. The one piece of good news for Na'Vi is that this aggression will end at a certain point. Nighttime will end. S4 will have his ult on cooldown, and the Alliance will be forced to play a bit more defensively. But that time is not now. This time is Alliance's. And here they go again. Smoked up. Na'Vi, no blink on Funnick. Puppey only level 4. Supports the reliability. He's about to get caught.
He is so dead. Puppey not going to make it back from Dendy, trying to do whatever he can for his ally, but you see how dangerous it is to actually go into the jungle. That's the Prophet not teleporting. That is the Wisp not relocating. It's just S4 with the Crystal Main and ganking, so this has got to get really, really dangerous very quickly for Na'Vi.
Yeah, the kills are really important, but I actually think the fact that they took down that tower.
Silence. It's going to be nukes. The teleport rotation from Dendy. He's got to cancel it.
And that's going to free up Loda. That's going to free up Bulldog. They can farm Navi's jungle. Na'Vi are really getting constricted. This is how Alliance were winning all their games throughout the group stage, throughout the main event. S4, he finds a few kills, and the game just breaks wide open. They starve you. They put you on a diet.
Relocate back mid. They see Kuroki, and he is so dead. Kuroki, no chance. Back on the bot. We see Admiral Bulldog trying to stop the TP. Can Puppey make it home? Yes, but barely makes it home.
Just by the skin of his teeth. There's treads coming soon. The Alliance right now, S4, he's looking for more. He's hunting Dendy. No blink for him. In fact, they'll back off. They'll head back towards mid, but another tower falls for the Alliance, mustering their courage.
And they're pinging Roche.
And look at this map right now. Na'Vi, their map control, they're in the dark, and you do not want to be in the dark against any of these Alliance heroes. Not Night Stalker, not Prophet, and most certainly not Wisp. Na'Vi way farther behind than any graph could ever show you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just spectacular play. Alliance recognizing when they're strong, when they could snowball out of control. And here comes a Roshan. Will not be able to defend this. Orb already thrown out, so Puppey or Dendy's not going to have it for quite a bit. I think the Age just goes freely to Alliance.
I mean, normally you look at Na'Vi's lineup and you say, oh, they can easily contest Roche. They've got Blink on Bat. They've got a Puck with Blink, but no, they don't have any Blinks. They don't have level 6 on Rubik. And Puppey, well, he's walking around right now, level 4. So that Roshan falls, and Alliance, 10-2. They're really hanging on here, turning this series around perhaps. They need this win. Then we go to a decisive game 5. And Lumi, I gotta say, if they win this game, are we gonna see a Wisp ban?
No, I don't think.
No.
Puppey's gonna say, I'm gonna stick to my guns here.
Okay. Well, maybe he'll get the Wisp. We'll see who gets that first pick.
Well, Alliance haven't won it yet. You do not count on Na'Vi. This is a team that has a ton of resilience.
Watch out though, Na'Vi, 5 heroes top.
S4.
Oh, S4. He's not the best hero to go on generally. He's got Aegis, he's got Armlet. And actually this is it looks like Na'Vi's gonna back off. So we can talk about S4's Night Stalker because he plays it a lot differently. The old Night Stalker builds, I mean, we've seen a lot. Synderen love to go for Yule Scepter. You can Yule's one hero while you focus another. We've seen other Night Stalkers. The standard build is Earn into BKB. Here we go though. They found a both. It's nighttime of both, and Night Stalker's on you. Relocate comes. Havost to fall. Instantly it melts. Down again. Still no Shadow Blade. Not having that free farm he had previously.
Yeah, you were talking about the build that S4 has gone for. He's going for armlets, he's going for treads. That is a ton of HP on the front line, and a lot of teams like to just blow up, or at least try to blow up S4 on the front lines when he initiates. You're not going to do it against Night Stalker.
It's a semi-carry build. The armlet toggling as well, just really hard to deal with if you're not able to fully chain stun him. And you look at Na'Vi and you say they should be able to fully chain stun him. They have so much lockdown, but a lot of it, it's hard to get into the fights and use it. Like this Bane doesn't have his grip, and even if he did, it's tough for him to jump in. Same for Kuroki. Level 5. I still think the key to this game is that Na'Vi supports have been shut down. Alliance's supports are on a roll. There's a Crystal Maiden with a friggin' Ogre Club. If she gets off her ult, which by the way, Ake has skilled. Ake is used with great effect, that freezing field. in previous matches. I just feel like Na'Vi, their supports are too poor and too under level to have an impact, and their 3 cores are not equipped to fight this game 5v3.
I absolutely agree. I mean, earlier you were talking about the lack of vision for Na'Vi. It's not like the Na'Vi support don't want to ward, they just have no gold to ward. So you see Puppey kind of walking around with a new sets of wards being picked up, but he can't really ward by himself. He doesn't know where the enemy wards are. He could get relocated upon, he could get teleported upon by Prophet, so you can't actually ward unless you go into the jungle as 4 or 5. Think of that. Like, what does Puppey do? He's warding going to be very defensive.
We were casting a game earlier with Havos where he had a Midas, a Phase Boots, or actually it was Treads, a Lothar's Edge, or rather a Shadow Blade, and more gold at this stage in the game. He doesn't even have upgraded boots. He doesn't even have a Shadow Blade. He went Greevil's Greed Max, and his net worth is sitting 3k gold behind that of Loda's. And it's not because Havos is missing last hits or can't farm. It's because it's not safe to farm. If he goes to farm, he dies. The map control of Alliance is allowing them to do what they do best, which is once they get ahead, to pull farther and farther ahead. At the same time, Na'Vi have a lot of lockdown, a lot of heroes that can go late. I don't feel they're 100% out of it, but it's like right now, Alliance probably 80-20, 90-10 that they take this.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking too good, but at the same time, keep in mind that Night Stalker, again, only efficient like half the time, not counting his ultimate, obviously. So right now, we don't see too much aggression from Alliance because of that. And I think right now Na'Vi needs to get something done, whether it's setting up a gank, whether it's just passively farming. It seems like they have chosen the latter.
Loda now has a BKB, and now if you're Na'Vi, you need to start worrying about your physical damage. They'll need to secure some, but here we go. It's a smoke gank. Ake, EGM, S4, they're all here.
Oh,
remember,
Kuroki.
the night, everyone can get here quickly too. Kuroki right into the middle of them. Look at him melt! No chance, no way out. He'll take a spill. That was too easy.
That was too easy.
That was way too easy. I mean, how is Kuroki going to make the spectacular plays of last game when he dies that fast? It's nearly impossible to do anything with that Ruben.
Yeah, you were talking about Na'Vi needing some physical damage. I mean, there is none aside from Havos, who has some. But if you look,
he's got 900 HP. Like even in Chemical Rage, he's got 3 armor. He is not going to last long.
Right. I mean, you imagine, when the fights are coming out, he's going to have something like a BKB. Maybe if he's going to have an AC. But if you look at the build that Loda's going for, he has a ton of tank. I mean, once he finished the Helm of Dominator, he's gonna have like things like 18 armor, magical immunity. He's gonna be shooting with lifesteal, and of course, let's not forget about Overcharge. That thing blocks a ton of damage as well.
Nighttime is available for S4. He's level 11. They took the tier 2 top. Na'Vi, the map feels really claustrophobic right now. They've got their blink on Funnick. The blink's out on Dendi. They have a smoke. They want to be fighting with these heroes. They want to be finding kills. So much aggression in this hero composition, but the way they're playing, very passive. As they roam around, they're spotted by dire observer wards. Alliance know where Na'Vi are, and if they do want to fight, they still have this Aegis. It is going to expire pretty soon, but with 1 minute to go and a BKB up on Loda, I think it's go time for the Alliance. Na'Vi, their backs are against the wall here.
Well, it looks like we're going to see a deep roam. I mean, a Crystal Maiden solo roaming into the enemy sticker shop. Yeah.
This doesn't happen.
Like, she's not afraid, because if she gets jumped, there is relocate, there's TP. So this Crystal Maiden's actually running with 4 of her allies. And here we go. They want Havos up top. He's got the Shadow Blade and Azure Detection on the Dire.
This is like watching a Cocker Spaniel run up to a Doberman and just say, I got you, man. Here we go. Havos, he's Shadow Bladed up. Aegis soon to be reclaimed. They have Sentry Wards, but Havos juking into the trees. He's got a TP. He's probably blading through. Not TPing out yet. He'll dodge the gank, so nice movement by him. But again, Alliance aren't investing too much in that. They smoked, but Bulldog's farming. They always have relocate, so Loda's farming during this time. When they go for ganks, they don't have to invest as much as Na'Vi.
Right, and even if those ganks fail, that's okay, because you know Navi's constantly farming as 4 or 5, so they're definitely losing out in terms of gold. Yeah, the charts are just not favoring Na'Vi right now.
Still, Na'Vi withstands the storm. They hold on to their tier 2 mid. The Aegis now expires, so they'll have a respite. But nighttime number 2 is coming, and let me tell you, Night Stalker, it really is a nightmare playing against this guy when he's winning, because that second nighttime lasts a whole lot longer than the first.
I mean, he's also got 2,600 gold in his bank. Any guesses on what item he might have?
A BKB would be the obvious choice, but I mean, a Basher's a possibility.
Does he even need
Heaven's
a BKB?
Halberd is a possibility.
Yeah.
Hell, a straight heart for S4 wouldn't surprise me too much.
Aghanim Scepter is often not bad either.
If you want a map control, I think Ags and then get a gem is the single best build you can go for.
Well,
and the reason for that is, for those who don't know, Night Stalker's ultimate Darkness, when he's got an Aghanim Scepter and or when it's nighttime period, he gets flying vision around him. So if you have a gem, there is no way to ward the map. Everything will get dewarded.
yeah. Vol's being forced to TP back. He's getting farm, but his farm is coming very slowly. He is forced to go at BKB. He needs to tank at the front line. I'm not exactly sure how much that is going to be effective.
He needs armor too. Like, there's a lot of physical damage on Alliance. I mean, Bulldog now, he's got his Shadow Blade up. He's working towards the site. Sure, he's got a BKB, but that's only the start. There's so much physical DPS from Alliance that he needs AC, and he might even need the start makings of his next item to live through that next team fight.
Here comes S4. He's roaming, again, by himself, but if he finds a good one, he's going to be expecting a relocate, he's expecting a TP, checking all the obvious kind of neutral camps to find one. But again, Na'Vi forced to rotate S4 or 5. They're smoked up as well, and if that smoke breaks, they will know if this hero's nearby.
Again, I just want to point out that every time it's nighttime, Na'Vi are playing differently. When it's nighttime, they roam as a pack, they don't farm on their own, they're playing more defensively, and if they go for aggression, it's as 5. Whereas Alliance have that option, or they can just farm. So Na'Vi all grouped up, farming one creep camp, while Alliance spread to the wind from the entire enemy jungle, also push the lane. They've got a mech now on EGM. He's level 11. He's not an easy kill, and I think we're going to see a tower trade. It's a tier 2 for Alliance, a tier 1 for Na'Vi. And taking this tier 2 for Alliance, the Roshan control for Na'Vi, already weak on the Radiant, gets a lot weaker.
In fact, Alliance could even defend their tier 1 up top, because all they have to do is TP S4 in, and then just relocate.
And already he's TPing. They're going to defend, and they're going to take the tier 2 bottom. And Na'Vi either back, or they might just get wiped.
They have to back now. Like, they don't see Night Stalker on the bot lane.
There is an Observer Ward here, but S4 is so far back that even if they want to go on him, there's just no way.
Right, they see S4, right? So they just have to back. They can't even take that tier 1 tower as 5 players. That is how far Na'Vi's behind.
Yeah, again, it's one of those games where if you don't know how Wisp and Prophet work, you look at it and you just think, why are Na'Vi afraid of one hero? But it's not one. It's really their entire team. Between Relocate, the Prophet TP, suddenly it's 4. One more TP's in, it's your entire squad. Now the tier 2 falls bottom. They defend their tier 1. They take a tier 2. It's been all Alliance all the way since about the 6-minute mark. 20 minutes in, leaving 12-2, striking back in game 4, and well on their way to forcing a decisive game 5.
I mean, that just speaks to the power of one single engagement. Normally we think, oh, early game engagement, you lose a fight, you know, you have a lot of time to make a comeback, you only lose like your outer tower, but it was a 1-0 start in favor of Na'Vi. In fact, first blood against S4 in the mid lane, and suddenly, after a 5-man wipe, the game just changed, right? Now Na'Vi have to play defensively.
Yeah, just look at where their heroes are. They're usually at the base. If they're leaving the base, it's S5. Alliance, they can farm, they can split push, they can gank, or they can do this. 30 seconds before Roche is up, say, we're not going to wait for the Roche. We're going to force the fight mid now. Glyph is up for Na'Vi. They've got a blink on Dendi. They've got Kuroki with his level 7. So Puppey has Fiend's Grip. They've got the makings of a team fight, but is it really enough?
It's not
tough
enough
to say.
Yeah, Loda's got a BKB. S4's got his BKB being delivered, and with these two on the front line dishing out a ton of damage.
Yeah, you can't go on these guys and you can't ignore them. Rock in a hard place right now. Na'Vi caught between them.
Well,
BKB now complete. Alliance really forcing this mid-fight. The Roche, they'll go back for it. Once this tier 2 falls, the way lies open, and it will be denied.
Nice
Great play by Dendi, but I mean, the bigger thing is the tier 2's now down mid.
Havos.
He can't be. He's got a BKB. There's actually no way to cancel it. So if he just TPs out in time, he should be okay.
Oh, Shadow Blade does come. Yeah, he's got a BKB. He's got a TP right now. He did not. Oh, the right clicks. Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, not popping Chemical Rage. The extra HP and regen. It almost cost. And that's what I'm talking about. That physical damage.
Right.
You can see it right there.
I mean, that was too close for
That was scary. That's with S4 not having any big damage. Just Armlet, which is big, but he hasn't gone for like the pure damage item that comes next. Be it the Basher, the Abyssal Blade, the Desolator, I mean, whatever he wants to go for. Then he really packs a punch. And into the Roche Pit the Alliance go. Eagle Horn up on Loda. Feeling like an Alliance tempo. Feeling like an Alliance game. Not over just yet, but this Aegis, it's big, and they're about to get it.
And Na'Vi knows they can't really do anything about the Roshan.
But I don't think they can push either.
They can't. Aki just TPs in, and if you see Aki, with this ward, they do see it. You can't push.
Yeah, like
a single Crystal Maiden is defending against 4.
Crystal Maiden is scaring off.
Well, obviously it's a relocate, it's a the follow-up TP.
Right, but at face value, it's Ake scaring off the entirety of Na'Vi. Roshan will fall, Aegis on the Loda, and now Alliance one big step closer to taking this game. So if you're Alliance, you're close. You have your BKBs, Butterfly's coming soon to Loda. Do you just sit back and farm? Do you force the fights now? How much more do you think they want to wait?
I think a lot of it is being dictated by the Nightfall. I mean, we generally don't say something like that in a lot of professional games, but you have Night Stalker, so you definitely need to plan something around that. And obviously, you have to kind of intertwine with your Aegis timing as well. I think they have enough items to go right now, because if you look at Na'Vi, sure, they have decent team fight with a, let's say, good Alchemist stun, with a Puck Dream Coil. With so many BKBs available on lines, they don't really have to be afraid of anything. They could just charge right in.
Yeah, Firefly just used Alliance. If they wait this out, S4, or rather Funnick, is going to have a hard time getting into the fight. We'll see if they actually commit. S4, onto the high ground he goes, toggling the armor. Now he turns it off. No leap yet. Funnick, Firefly will soon fall. He has managed to delay the creep wave, but Alliance will just wait it out. They haven't even brought Bulldog to the fight. Ultimate Orb up, now he'll TP in. Could pressure bottom. He's pressuring top though. He's looking to force this. I think Alliance, if they just get a buyback out from Na'Vi, you just back off and you keep on farming.
Well, the one thing that they have to be careful about is Funnick. If Funnick gets a Blink, Lasso, and then Force Staff, there is no way.
Habos coming in. Alliance, they don't have a gem. Actually, they do have a gem on EGM. S4 just doesn't care. He gets stunned and he keeps on rolling. There's no glyph. This tower's falling soon. Kuroki, something stolen. There's no
Force Staff backwards. You gotta kill EGM quick, and they will not. The mech coming out, the call down comes down. Habos trying to right click, but he just does not do any damage. S4
double
melting.
Kill for Loda. 3 on the deck. Habos not gonna win this fight. Not against Alliance. Their full might unveiled. They take 4. They only lose 1. This is Rax. This might well be game. 16-4. 25 minutes in. Na'Vi getting smashed.
Yeah, they lost to Crystal Maiden, they lost to Wisp. Wisp popped back and relocated back in the fight, but immediate Rax. In fact, Dendy trying to make some play. Dreamcoat used Lotus dropping low, but lifesteal and armor, as well as HP from the BKB says, no problem.
Yeah, that was a really nice play by Denny, because if you can at least pop the Aegis there, it's a pretty safe play. He's going to be able to jump out, but not able to do it. So the top Rax will fall. Ranged to melee. Alliance are really on a roll. They're feeling hot.
Yeah. I mean, Na'Vi, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to make a comeback, but it's got to come through from Havos. And Havos dying in these team fights and not picking up any kills is an issue. In fact, in that most of the team fight, he tried to focus on the Ake. The Crystal Maiden could not get the kill. And by the way, Crystal Maiden's going for a BKB. And when she gets a BKB, I'm going to lose it because we're going to see some fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, actually, they did kill her there, but it took so long.
Right.
It's like, is it really worth it? Probably not. S4 in the front lines. He's got the gem now. BKB off cooldown. He's got a haste as well. If Na'Vi got to run, they're screwed. They already are, but here we go. There's 3 minutes to go on this Aegis. Silence thrown out. Funnick jumping in. Does catch EGM. EGM, no buyback. If he gets caught, could be bad. Low, but Max up. Puppy just gets smacked down. This Puppy will fall. Dendy next. S4 out of control, and it looks like possibly the end. 3 dead. Double buyback from Na'Vi. Just giving too much ground here. Dendy leaping in, jumping out. Still no reward.
They got some chain stun, they got some lift. Kuroki trying to fight against everybody. Kuroki though can't tank it up. Lotus dropping low as well. That's a 2-man coil. They want Ammo Bulldog, but Lotus gonna get dropped.
They spent a lot to defend this. A lot of buybacks
another buyback coming out here. Ammo Bulldog gonna get focused. Navi's gonna make a successful defense.
Oh no! Lotus alive. Can they lock him down? They need a stun. Nothing there. He slept. They prep and they wait and they get the gem as well. If Na'Vi hold, now it becomes a big fight. But Havos falling fast, not dead yet. There's no Fiend's Grip. Now Lotus tries to run. Oh wow! I think they might actually do this. There's a Wisp relocate. Too late. Lotus dead. 21-9. Na'Vi hanging on for dear life, but Lumi, they spent a lot there.
They spent a lot, but it's definitely a ray of hope as Na'Vi wins. That is their first team fight they won in 27 minutes, so buyback be damned, they got to get something going their way. Let's quickly check out what they have made out of that team fight. Funnick up to about 1,600 gold. Puppy spending buybacks, got nothing. Dendy's picked up an enemy gem and has an ultimate orb, so if he ever picks up a Hex perhaps, maybe we're going to see some signs of life. Kuroki obviously has a support, and also dying quite a bit, not gonna have too many items.
Yeah, I think Alliance just got a bit overconfident there. Na'Vi didn't spend their buybacks right away, and they felt like we can just force this fight and win the game right now. You know, they're anxious to get to that game 5. They're anxious to have match point for themselves, and Na'Vi held their buybacks for a while, used them when they knew they could secure kills. Na'Vi played it really well, but For Alliance, they're normally such a patient team. I mean, you can tell. This is the Grand Finals, man. Everything's on the line.
Right. There is a gaping hole in the Alliance strategy, and Funnick has kind of exploited it twice, which is if he jumps in, lassos one, and force that backwards, there's no stopping it, right? There's really no real stuns that could actually stop that movement. He's been focusing on EGM every single time because he gives his team so much. He gives his team overcharge, which is 20% damage reduction. He gives them mech, he gives them a ton of healing. So Wisp is the person that you gotta focus, but at the same time, you have to have enough burst damage. He's been surviving these team fights. He's been meching, and once he gets his off his mech, you have wasted way too many nukes, you have wasted way too much right click, so the focus fire on EGM has to be perfect.
Yeah, it's been great. Funnick's found a lot with minimal farm, with a hero that is a bit squishy at this point. His timing's been impeccable. Still though, Alliance, that next Roche is coming, and this next one's gonna matter a whole lot more. Because now Loda is one item away from being God in these fights. Once he gets Satanic, there's just no killing him. I mean, I just don't think they have the damage yet. Maybe if they lock him down before he BKBs, maybe if there's no Wisp relocate to save his life and turn around, but then you give him an Aegis and they gotta kill him twice, and that is very difficult.
Yeah, take back what I said about Flaming Lasso. That is not an option anymore because Admiral Bulldog's got a Cypher Vice. So he blinks in, you lasso the Wisp, yeah, he's gonna get hexed, and Bat's gonna get focused. And like you said, he's not tanky at this point, so Admiral Bulldog and the rest of Alliance is just closing the gap, and I don't know where Navi's going to find some wiggle room, but they need to find something.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them just settle down, maybe go for a relocate gank, but if there's no easy, safe kills, they'll just farm until the next Roche. They've got the positional advantage for it. They have a lane of Rex down. You can see that right now they see most of the map. Navi sees maybe a quarter of it or so, and a lot of their jungle is completely dark. Alliance, map control solid. Roche should be advantage to you, and with the BKB on Loda, it's hard to actually go in on him. If you go in with Bat, like you said, you just get scythed up. Alliance, patience from them. Now, a BKB coming for Ake, and we've seen him have some amazing freezing fields. So don't be surprised if Ake is the secret MVP in the next team fight.
I'm expecting 3 cheers for Ake once he picks up the BKB, because we don't see BKB Crystal Maiden a lot in pro games, so
yeah, it's a rare treat. Yeah. And the thing is, you cannot blow Fiend's Grip or Lasso on Ake in a team. Not in a team fight. If you find a pick off, that's fine. But if you blow that on him in a team fight, that means that the Night Stalker, the Prophet, the Gyro, the real damage dealers, or usually the real damage dealers, are just going nuts.
Right. So very, very huge item pickup here in the form of Assault Cuirass really allows Alchemist to tank at least respectively up in the front line. Still can't really deal with the right clicks coming out eventually from the Admiral Bulldog, and definitely now from Loda, but once he gets his Basher, or maybe even he's forced to go MKB at this point, considering that there is a Butterfly, whatever item he goes next is going to help him to really stay in the front line and start killing EGM, because I imagine the Bat Rider Initiate will still go to him.
I'm really curious to see what S4's next item is. He's up to 3,000 gold, and there's a lot of different ways to take Night Stalker. If you want to go for more of a carry build, then you can go Assault Caress, you can go Basher. Desolator is a decent, but I think something that helps him tank and dish out damage is probably ideal here, since Navi are going to go on him if they can. So
what about something like a Heaven's Halberd? You're dealing with a one... Yeah, there you go.
That's 3 cheers and then some for Ake. Give the Crystal Maiden a big BKB. The little Crystal Maiden that could.
But back to S4, back to the good stuff, right? I mean, what about something like Heaven's Halberd? Because you're dealing with a one-row carry lineup.
He's got BKB though, so
sure.
Disarm not going to help you
He
again.
says, all right, forget the... I know you got BKB. I will raise you with a Basher.
I think this is the better choice.
Yeah.
Because there's no evasion on Havost right now. All they really need is one Bash in the team fight. And Havost, if he dies, I'm sure you can buy back, but you're probably buying back without Chemical Rage. You're buying back when your team's on the run. Fight's going to fall apart. So you get the Basher, you pray for one good Bash, and that could very well be all she wrote. I just want to point out that Navi have actually managed to stem the dipping on the gold graph. It's close to a 20k gold lead, but it's not getting worse for them. It's plateaued a bit. Perhaps the makings of an epic comeback. Yeah, if they come on to win this game.
Hold your thoughts on that one.
Yeah.
Hold your thought on that.
They need a lot. There's a lot ahead of them. They've probably got to win 2 or 3 good team fights, but this is a lineup that can really scale. Dendi could get a Scythe device. Havost can get a Super Basher, his Abyssal Blade. Your Rubik for Krogi, Blink Dagger, Force. If they do win fights, they've got a lot of room to grow. It's not like they're running out of options in terms of late game.
Yeah, the reason that why we don't see the gold graph dipping as much is because, first of all, Alliance is not really taking over the enemy jungle just yet, so Navi is still finding some tiny bit of farm there. The other thing to talk about is that that top lane, the fact that this Rex, we see 20 gold creeps being pushed towards Navi's side, and that's.
But they're really not 20 gold creeps because you have Greevil's creep.
Exactly. So that's keeping him up as well. And you got to keep in mind, Alliance is never going to see this particular creep wave because the creeps on the other side are bigger. So it's always going towards Navi's side. I mean, this is like digging deep, but Navi quote-unquote has the advantage in terms of farm because of losing a Rex up top.
In theory, we'll see though.
Theory,
with the next stages, with Wisp relocates, I mean, you're still looking at a lot of heroes who don't have much. And now Rocher will fall. Navi never intended to contest, and this is already Aegis and Cheese. Give it to Alliance. They're close. They need one good push, one good fight. If they take 2 lanes of Rex, Navi pretty much out of this game.
Right, yeah. Right now, Navi simply just do not have enough damage output. In fact, everybody from Alliance could just like right-click with their BKBs and they probably would just straight up out-damage Navi. And yeah, that's the tactics to do. They will glyph and they will TP for this Rex. Havost, you need to get the hell out of there.
He gets the tower. Now can he get out? Relocate comes. He's got a BKB. They head the wrong way. They're not going to find him. Great juke by Havost. He takes a tier 1 top and keeps his team alive. He's also, by the way, got a Demon Edge. Are we looking at MKB
No,
here?
There's a butterfly up, so.
Should be MKB. We can always pray for
Sorry, I thought you meant Divine. Not yet.
We can always pray for one, but not going to happen.
Well, they do.
Mid lane, Havost. He's Shadow Bladed up. It's not going to wear off too soon.
Do you perhaps think that?
Oh, they knew.
How did they saw me? Like, how did they know that he was there?
Oh, they thought he was close. Uh-oh. Ake's got a DD. And the thing is, he's got an Aegis. BKB does remove the double damage, but he doesn't need
BKB. It's go time.
Okay, yeah, they're going down mid now. Navi, they're going to have to really force this. I mean, if they don't, Rex is down.
How do you stop Loda?
They don't have buybacks, by the way. Just the Batrider buyback for Funnick. So maybe he jumps in, dies to slow this down, and then buys back, but we'll have to see. Here comes Loda. He's going to start chipping away. He's very hard to deal with the Rex, the tier 3, all in jeopardy as the tier 3 melts. Still, there's Cheese on S4. Can they really bring him from 0 to none? If not, he's got 2 lives. Loda's got 2 lives. Bulldog's got buyback, so give him 8 heroes in this push. And now, well, a leap away by our bat. Funnick not ready to go. They lift S4. Very hard to go on him. Remember, he's got Cheese. And still Alliance standing strong. The glyph's been used. The tower's about to fall. They nuke and then silence Funnick. Now the tier 3's down. Funnick out of this fight for quite a few seconds. The tier 2, the Rex is gonna fall. Loda's taking it. Now Havost backstab on Bulldog. He's gonna drop. On to Funnick, last way up Loda, but Loda is still alive. He's still got a Satanic. Havost is hexed, and Havost will fall.
S4 and the rest of the team triple buyback coming up from now. Quad buyback. They need to make something of this happen. Dandy finds a 2-man coil and they're gonna go right in Funnick. Oh, he's silenced up.
Relocate here. Loda still got BKB. Bulldog will fall though. I think.
No, he's still
not
alive.
dead yet. Havost buyback into death again. And S4, he's gonna chase. The other dead. Alliance, the Swedish monsters. They force a game 5.
Credit to Havost making something out of nothing because that backstab took Alliance out of the comfort zone. Was able to get a ton of done in that team fight, but they were just out-itemed. They were outgunned.
Way too far behind. If it was close, that could have made the difference. Yeah. But Alliance, give it to them. They went for a Night Stalker mid. They pulled something out of the hat, and they crushed virtually from start to finish.
This is the first time in TI history that we're going to a game number 5.
Is it really?
Wow. I think so, TI.
I believe you're right. Yeah. And on that note, over $2 million hanged on one more game. We'll throw it back to James and the analysts. It's close.
What a great game for their Alliance, coming out strong and really putting some good focus on their support players and getting it ahead early with the Night Stalker. And of course now we will be going to a final match. Pretty amazing stuff. What did you make of it?
I will actually be handing in my resignation after this, because I did not think they could come through with those picks against what lineup Navi had.
Really?
I was sitting here thinking, wow, Navi really got a dream of a lineup. And Alliance, when they picked that Night Stalker, I was so torn on it. I was like, they need a gank a lot, but it's not going to happen. I thought their last hope was picking a Magnus now that they had banned out the clockwork, but they made it work, and they made it work big time.
Yeah, I was very surprised that they could come back. I think, didn't S4 get first blood, and then they...
Well, okay, yeah, go on. Yeah, he did. S4 got first blood versus the Night Stalker. That's right. But like, I just think I just think like S4 in terms of shutting him down early. like wasn't the big deal of the early stages. Sorry, go on, continue.
Jacob and I are still confused.
You're confused. What did I do?
Nothing. Continue.
Oh no, I just said S4 got the first blood against Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Sorry, S4 didn't kill himself.
Yeah, generally
into
Night
that.
Stalker, if you get behind, and especially after first night, it's just over.
Yeah.
Like it's such a risky hero to pick, and I didn't think that they would utilize it, especially against this powerhouse lineup that Na'Vi showed.
I think this is one of the first times we can actually say high risk, high reward in this tournament, because that's exactly what that pick was about. Getting the Night Stalker, they had to do everything in their power to just gank and keep Na'Vi contained, and they did exactly that.
Okay, I know you're a great commentator.